Well, hey there, everybody, and welcome to Cover Wars. How's it going, Seth?
It's going.
I'm your host, aJaX. With me, as always, is Seth, and Cover Wars is a weekly podcast where what we do is we're on a quest to find the top 3 quintessential versions of a song, cover versions of a song, and we do that by taking a curated playlist of 20 versions of a popular song. We whittle it down to our 5 favorite, and then we reveal them one by one in surprise fashion from our number 5 all the way down to the number 1. And then we battle it out in a cover war to find those quintessential top 3 songs, culminating in the best cover ever of a particular song. Seth, what song will we be covering today on Cover Wars?
Your Love by the Outfield.
That's right. One of my favorite classic 80s songs. It's so good. So let's get into it, shall we? So a little bit about the song Your Love by the Outfield. Your Love is a song by English rock band The Outfield, taken from their 1985 debut album Play Deep, released as a single on February 14th, 1986. It was written by guitarist John Spinks, and it reached number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100. Seth, how familiar are you with the song Your Love?
I remember this being a pretty big deal when I was young. However, I'm a pretty big Katy Perry fan, and I remember her bringing this back into popularity. So,
I was hoping we were going to cover Katy Perry's version. We'll get into that later, maybe.
We don't have to. We don't have to.
Sore spot with me with that version.
We don't have to.
Okay, well, no, I'll say something about it later. Don't worry. But no, that's good. That's funny that's what brought it back for you. Perhaps, though, another thing you may recall is the time Josh Hutcherson hosted SNL back on November 23rd, 2013. Hard to find online now due to clearance issues with the song, but I do have my ways. And Josh plays a character named Devin who attempts to win over Vanessa Bayer's character, the friend of his older sister, Josie. Josie was played by one of the Haim sisters who were musical guests that episode. And instead of speaking, Devin communicates entirely by lip-syncing lines from Your Love, which is just the actual song playing in the background. So yeah, clearance issues. Then Keenan and Taryn are in the windows playing instruments. They pop out from time to time. It's so great. Have you seen this? Are you familiar with this?
Oh
sketch?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
So for me, whenever I hear the song now, I mean, it's been 12 years since that sketch aired.
Really?
Wow. Every single time I hear it, that's the only thing that immediately comes to mind. It's just Vanessa like listening as Josh is just lip syncing to the song. Gosh, it's one of, and what's funny is that's like one of my favorite things about SNL are when they used to do the sketches with the songs, but now it's like, well, if they do that, then it becomes very difficult to find it afterwards. So guitarist John Spinks was living in East London and invited vocalist Tony Lewis over for a writing session. The two developed Your Love on the porch of the flat. Lewis sat on an amplifier and Spinks began writing the lyrics. And according to Lewis, the song took 12 minutes to write. So Seth, does it show? Can you tell this was a quick write?
Not really. I mean, the lyrics are simple, but yeah, I don't think it was. Yeah, I would never have guessed 12 minutes. No.
I mean, that's some quick writing. Like,
yeah,
I would have to have something in mind. Like, I'm not going to lie and say I haven't written something that quick, but at the same time, it was very good. Not good enough to be like one of the most prolific one-hit wondery songs of the 80s. So let's talk about the Outfield and how they are categorized as a one-hit wonder. Because of this song, they were an English pop rock band formed in London in 1984. They are considered a one-hit wonder, best remembered by the song we're covering today, which begs the question, Seth, can you name one other song by the Outfield?
Ooh, I know several songs, but I can't name them. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. So I had the same thing until I looked it up because there was one of my I was thinking about because I remember seeing the video of it, and it's called "All the Love in the World," which the video for that one almost acts as a sequel to the video for the first one.
Okay.
So, the music video for Your Love, do you remember seeing it?
Vaguely, like
Okay,
very,
so
very.
it's not like a memorable video. It's pretty simple. The band like walks out into a soundstage. For the video, you hear that opening guitar riff more, and they do that in music videos to extend the scenes. And they do that. It doesn't go right into Josie who's on a vacation far away. You hear the guitar riffs a few times. He checks it. It just checks his self in a light. He gets on there, and then the band starts singing. And a lot of it has to do with the painting of the artwork for their first album, Play Deep. That like plays a big role. And had they gone on to bigger success and had like huge hits, that would have helped them maybe not become so one-hit wondery. But after some relative success on their follow-up albums, like many bands of the 80s, their popularity waned. Their drummer left before their fourth album, and so then they became a duo. Spinks and Lewis, that is. Then they received poor reviews for album number 5 in 1992, and they all but disbanded afterwards. So then they mounted a comeback in 1998, released a few studio albums in the 2000s for a total of 8 album releases before guitarist Spinks died in 2014.
Wow.
So, Seth, did you have any idea this band released so much material, though, other than that first album?
No, I wasn't aware. I really did. I had no clue.
Yeah, I didn't really either. I thought they just had a few albums, but no, they continued to put more out. And then after the death of Spinks in 2014, in March of 2018, lead singer Tony Lewis announced a solo album called Out of the Darkness. Very aptly titled. It was released in June 2018. I don't know if anyone even heard that album. I'm sure there's some Outfield diehards out there that were like, yeah, this is pretty good. Reminds me of the songs back in the day. And they probably talk like that. Or maybe like this. Lewis died, though, unexpectedly on October 19th, 2020. Oh, wow. And I vaguely remember, I mean, we were in the heart of COVID era, but he did not die of COVID. But yeah, I vaguely remembered that announcement. So that is the Outfield. Before we get into the lyrics, anything else to discuss on the band, the Outfield, that you can think of?
Not really. Not today.
No. I mean, I just want to say how much I love this song, though, because this is one of those songs that when I hear it, of course, like I said, I think of the SNL sketch, but I also just, it takes me back to the 80s. It is such an 80s song. There's so many stereotypes of what the 80s sounds like. We've covered some already with a-ha's Take on Me. There's just that synth aspect to it, but then like this song is more rockier, so I don't know, like that pop rock edge and feel to it. So here's just a little synopsis of the lyrics. So the song was written in 12 minutes, says Tony Lewis, and the lyrics have no basis in reality because of that. Josie was not a real person. It's not a real story, and the song is an entirely invented story. So, yeah, does that show? Can you tell it's made up, or did you think it maybe was real?
I wondered if it was a fake story. I wasn't sure, for sure.
And so I think that's kind of how that's why I like the SNL sketch so much, because even though it's a song that I really, really love, they are just satirizing it how it should be satirized in the perfect it's an homage, but at the same time it's like this song was probably written in 12 minutes. So here's the lyrics, and the lyrics are very simple indeed. Here we go with verse 1, one of the most popular verses of the 80s of any song. Josie's on a vacation far away. Come around and talk it over. So many things that I want to say. You know, I like my girls a little bit older. So that line right there, you're like, whoa, okay, that's a bit of a reveal there, a little TMI there. Then the chorus comes out. I just want to use your love tonight, and I don't want to lose your love tonight. That's it. 2 very simple lines for the chorus. But then the word tonight, of course, is more like tonight, extend it out. So it's fun whenever you're writing lyrics and then you come up with the song. It's funny to me, like, okay, well, there's more of this bass line here. How are you going to do that? Oh, I'll just incorporate my skills of stretching a note and make the song with a bunch of I's in it. Verse 2, I ain't got many friends left to talk to. That's proper grammar. Nowhere to run when I'm in trouble. I'd do anything for you. Stay the night, but keep it undercover. Again, TMI so much. But then the chorus repeats, I just want to use your love tonight, and I don't want to lose your love tonight. And then the bridge. So as short as the song is, they squeeze this bridge. And what I really do like about the song is that the verses are compact, they're tight, they're short. A lot of songs today, a verse can be 16 stanzas before we get to a chorus. So it's kind of cool how that's nice and short and sweet. The bridge is, try to stop my hands from shaking, 'cause something in my mind's not making sense. It's been a while since we were all alone. I can't hide the way I'm feeling. And then right back to verse 3, which I love. Some bridges take you to the chorus. This one takes you to the third verse, which is just a really cool part of the song when it goes, as you're leaving, please, would you close the door? And don't forget what I told you. Just 'cause you're right, that doesn't mean I'm wrong. Another shoulder to cry upon. Then the chorus repeats 3 times with group vocals and effects. Then there's an outro. Chorus repeats 4 times with group vocals and effects as it fades out. So what is your favorite lyric of the song, or do you have one?
There's a couple. I really like, I like that I don't want to lose your love tonight. As first, I love that. I felt like a couple of the lyrics were a little cringy.
Yeah,
but,
the last 2 lines of verse 1 and 2, for sure. Yeah.
But overall, it's a pretty good song.
Yeah, I think it's simple. It's simple and it's catchy. That's what you want in a song. You want it to be catchy. My favorite 2 are that opening line, Josie's on the vacation for a week, immediately hooks you, and the way he says it, the cadence, it's just like it pulls you in and goes, okay, well, why is she on vacation? Who is this Josie person?
Yeah.
You're invested right away. And then the end of verse 3, just 'cause you're right, that doesn't mean I'm wrong. That's such a guy thing to say.
Yeah.
When they're caught in an argument, so hey, just because you're right, it doesn't mean I'm wrong. Okay, that's the guyest thing ever. But
I like the shoulder to cry on. I don't know if you're getting there or not, but yeah, I love that line.
I probably wasn't even going to say that. Yeah, the way that ends. So the lyrics are simple. They are a great song, very catchy. So that's pretty much it for Your Love by the Outfield. Are you ready to get into our rankings now?
I can't believe we're there, but yes.
We're already there. We're going to do it. It's going to happen. And here we are. So Seth, what is your number 5?
My number 5 is Emma Burgess.
Ooh, okay. Emma Burgess. Very, very interesting. Okay, so Emma Burgess. If I can find Emma in my notes. Emma, where are you? Oh, okay. There's Emma. This is from the album Swim, released on February 28th, 2007. Emma, and this is going to be shocking, but it's true. Emma has a grand total of 512 monthly listeners on Spotify. That's right. This is an album that was released a very long time ago and nothing since.
Maybe we can raise that a little.
Let's get that up there.
Let's get that up there.
Let's bring it up to 1,000.
Yeah.
I think you and I alone with this playlist, we probably helped it a little.
I bet.
So Emma found roles as an actress after moving to LA under her birth name, Brandy Emma. And I can't really find too much more online. I mean, after 2007 and the release of this album called Swim, there is not a whole lot. I mean, there's not a paper trail of much of any kind. So private life, maybe, perhaps. I really can't say. So what did you like so much about Emma's version?
So it was a slowed down piano version with haunting vocals. It's funny because the first time I heard it, I was like, "Oh, this is okay. This is okay." Every time I heard it after that, I was like, "This is amazing."
It's funny how a song, like in a version of a song, especially a cover, can just grow on you after hearing it so many times. But yeah, I can relate to that. So very good. So at number 5 for Seth, we have Emma Burgess. Okay. Are you ready for my number 5?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, my number 5. In fact, there's a couple of my top 5, I have to preface this, that are just very interesting because of maybe who they are and maybe who I'm confused about who they are. My number 5 is Dinah Eastwood. Okay. And this was released as a single, this cover, on January 13th, 2015. This cover version has almost 17 million streams. Dinah Eastwood, 373,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. She's a jazz pop vocalist, and her bio says that she was sick of American Idol pop music and that scene, and she wanted to bring the best of jazz to some of the music she was listening to on the radio. So I love the smooth, sultry vocals. That jazz pop vibe really, really worked with me. This is the kind of jazz I like, where it is more of a mainstream style sound, and just a different version of the song Your Love. Now, when I was looking this up, who is Dinah Eastwood? Everything that kept popping up was Dina Eastwood, who was the ex-wife of Clint Eastwood. And what's very interesting about her, she's an anchor, a reporter, and an actress. And her and Clint Eastwood, they parted ways in 2014. And trying to distinguish the two is very interesting because I tried to look up a live performance for Dinah Eastwood. Can't find one. And this is Dinah with an H. And Dina is Dina, no H. So very confusing, very interesting because they don't seem like it's the same person. But I don't know. It's very strange. I wouldn't imagine that they are, but I have no live performances, no interviews of Dinah Eastwood. But again, 373,000 monthly listeners on Spotify and 17 million streams of her version of Your Love. So did you appreciate Dinah Eastwood's version?
Yeah, I wrote down that it's a jazzy, slow version. I kind of liked it's more of a European jazzy sound. I don't know how to explain that really well, but it's definitely got a good vibe for sure.
Yeah, I dug it a lot. So that's my number 5. All right, Seth, what is your number 4?
My number 4 is Dinah Eastwood.
Whoa, Dinah Eastwood, you say? Well, we went over Dinah Eastwood. Now, did you do any research on Dinah Eastwood? Is Dinah Eastwood
going to?
Is Dinah Eastwood Dina Eastwood in disguise? Is it an alias, a pseudonym? What is up with the H versus the lack of H? It's just very confusing. Dinah Eastwood sounds younger than Dina Eastwood does. Because I did listen to an interview with Dina Eastwood without the H, and I'm like, she's a little older, it sounds like, and then Dinah's vocals sound younger, so they got to be a different person. It's just unusual because I did not find anything on Dinah other than the actual tracks themselves, which garner a lot of views and listens on YouTube and the streamers. But if anybody out there knows, please let us know. We will update you and pin your comment. All right. Very cool. We have a match already. I like where this is going. Yeah, really. It usually does it, especially for 5 to 3. It's interesting. All right. And so close to each other. All right. So Seth, you ready for my number 4?
I can't wait. Okay.
My number 4 is by another artist I didn't find very much information at all online for, and they are Portraits. Portraits. This was from a single released on August 17th, 2018. They only have just under 10,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, 9,964 at the time I checked. It's just a very acoustic, calming rendition And this is featured on a lot of coffee house compilations and playlists. There's also a UK folk duo called The Portraits, and I played them. I'm like, this is not the same band. This is not the same duo. They sound completely different. And so when I tried to find any more information out about just Portraits, all I got was the same 8 songs, no interviews, no information, just the Spotify, that has nothing. There's no bio at all. So Seth, did you find any more information out on Portraits, and did you like this song as much as I did?
I unfortunately did not dig into their background, but I did like the folksy vibe. A couple of these songs on the playlist that you gave me were singer-songwriter based, like folksy songs. And I really fell hard for those. Those were nice.
Yeah, the contrast with the very outspoken, like the treble turned up, really focused on the lyrics for the original song, and then the just toned down, stripped down, relaxed, calming style of the acoustic is just an interesting contrast. And they really stood out to me too. All right, so Seth, 5 is Emma Burgess, 4 is Dinah Eastwood. My number 5 is Dinah Eastwood, and my number 4 is Portraits. So Seth, what is your number 3?
My number 3 is Adam Christopher.
Okay, Adam Christopher. Another one that you were talking about, that acoustic vibe. This is from a single released on January 27th, 2023. Adam Christopher has 463,000 monthly listeners. He says he's an artist inspired by every genre, according to his bio. And he's a singer, producer, and known for his beautiful acoustic takes on popular songs. So what did you like so much about Adam Christopher?
Honestly, what stuck out to me was the instrumentation. I really enjoyed the way the music sounded. It wasn't so much like the vocals or anything. It was the instrumentation. It was really hit me hard.
I'd have to agree with that. I echo that sentiment. Just a very cool version altogether. So very cool that is your number 3. All right, are you ready for my number 3?
Yes.
Okay, my number 3 is by the group The Butchies. The Butchies, from an album called Make Your Life, and the your is YR because that's cooler. And this was released in April of 2004. The Butchies, still with 10.1 thousand monthly listeners on Spotify. They were an all-female punk band from Durham, North Carolina that existed betwixt 1998 and 2005. And just a really, really interesting version of the song. I really liked how slowed down it was. Normally, when it's slowed down, it has to be done correctly, and I liked it because everything, the pitch, the bass, everything was slowed down. And then the drums are still turned up. I like how everything was still plugged in. So it wasn't acoustic. It was electric. It was plugged in. And then you hear, like, when verse 3 comes rolling around, this feedback noise, the intentional feedback fed into the speaker. And sometimes that can be off-putting. But in this case, it was actually endearing. And more and more I heard it, I'm like, oh, I kind of like that's a cool little addition to the song with that little feedback thing coming in. But yeah, just a really different, really cool version. And yeah, ultimately that's why it became my number 3. What did you think of the Butchies version?
So I wrote down slow, cool vibe. Loved this version. Unfortunately, I'm going to kind of spoil it here. It didn't make my honorable mentions, but I wanted it to. I had marked this one off. Like, I want this one to be in my honorable mentions, but I did love this version.
Okay, it's all right. It's all right if it didn't make your honorable mentions. It's okay. But no, I'm glad you liked it too. Okay, good. All right, so Seth, what is your number 2?
My number 2 is Adina V.
Okay. And I also, I would have called it either or. I don't know if it's Adina V or Adina the Fifth. I would imagine it's a.
I apologize.
No, I didn't know. I mean, I don't know. It could be Adina V. I didn't look into it enough to know if it's one way or the other. I could have pronounced it that way as well. But Adina V or Adina the Fifth, whatever it is, the version came from a single with the Acoustic Room. And the Acoustic Room is just a platform with 552,000 monthly listeners. Adina V herself does have 22.5 thousand monthly listeners. She's an indie singer-songwriter in a new band called Heart Runner. So she's the lead vocalist in this new band called Heart Runner, who doesn't have very many listens or anything at all. So go check out Heart Runner. Just a really cool, little version. So why did you like it so much that it was your number 2?
I simply wrote down great folksy bluegrass version. That's what I wrote down.
Yeah. Gotta love it. Okay. All right. Very cool. And Seth, would you like to know what my number 2 version is?
I'm so excited. I gotta know.
Well, we have another match, Seth.
Oh,
Get
wow.
ready, because my number 2 is Adam Christopher.
There you go.
Yeah. So I love the sweeping vocals over elegant, focused acoustic guitar. You mentioned the instrumentation, and that's what just really stood out to me. The way he played that thing.
Yes.
And the vocals match so perfectly over the top of them, where I was just like, gosh, this version just keeps getting better and better with how many times I've listened to it. And I'm like, this has got to squeeze into my number 2 slot. Because without giving anything away, my number 1 was probably always going to be my number 1, but my number 2 through 5 were very up for grabs, and Adam Christopher won my second favorite version of the song. So, just to run it down real quick here, Seth's number 5 was Emma Burgess. His number 4 was Dinah Eastwood. Number 3, Adam Christopher. And number 2, Adina V. My number 5 was Dinah Eastwood. Number 4, Portraits. Number 3, The Butchies. And number 2, Adam Christopher. All right, before we get into Seth and I's pick for number 1 for Your Love by the Outfield, it's time to reveal some honorable mentions. How many honorable mentions you got for us today, Seth?
Unfortunately, I've gotten this bad habit where I have to have at least 5 now. So,
hey, it's okay. So, starting with your 10, number 10.
Yeah, Living in Fiction. I thought this was like kind of like the OG version. It was very similar.
Yeah, I got that from them too. Living in Fiction. That's cool. All right.
You want me to go with 9?
I can tell you a little bit more about them. They're an alt-hard rock band from Salt Lake City, Utah, known for their passionate lyrics, aggressive guitars, and high-powered energy live shows. So that is Living in Fiction. All right, keep going.
Number 9, Derek Cato.
Derek Cate, C-A-T-E, I think it was. I don't know.
Oh, I thought it was Cato.
It might have been Cato. I don't know. Maybe he plays with a capo. And so you got the Kate and the capo.
It's sort of Cato.
I mean, I imagine he plays guitar. He's got to have a capo somewhere. But this was from Acoustic Sessions in 447. It was released in June of 2024. His bio says he's a singer, dad, independent artist from Oregon, or Oregon if you prefer. And you can catch him at DerekCateMusic.com for acoustic songs. All right. Yeah, he has like this gravelly vocal. It's very unique and interesting vocal to him, if I recall.
Yeah, I thought it was a relaxed, laid-back version is what I had written down.
Yep.
And number 8, I got Midtown.
Midtown, all right.
Offbeat, the vocals were timing was nice.
Midtown is from their version from Punk Goes 80s, and that was released in June of 2005. I can't believe that's been 20 years. My goodness. They had 3 huge albums before breaking apart, and Gabe supported that, formed a band called Cobra Starship, who had mainstream success in the mid-2000s. So that's Midtown, yeah.
At 7, I've got Walk Off the Earth. It's a very stripped down version. The vocals are very nice on that one.
Yeah, Walk Off the Earth, very popular on YouTube, indie pop band from Burlington, Ontario. Huge presence on the YouTube and a lot of the socials. Sarah and Gianni of Walk Off the Earth have 3 sons together, who are also very musically inclined and making music themselves already at very young ages. So yeah, Walk Off the Earth, very different version. And that one was just released like a month ago.
Whoa.
So, yeah, brand new version there.
Whoa. Okay. So my 6 was very hard not to put in my top 5. I felt crushed. Anyway, The first to 11, great vocals. Just loved it.
Yeah, first to 11, no strangers to our podcast, seem to show up in every single episode almost, at least more than half already. Weekly covers, they are just excellent. And then Trevor Vogt, another vocalist with almost 10,000 monthly listeners. So he's very into the 80s synthwave kind of vibes too. So very cool. All right. So as far as my honorable mentions, my number 10 was the aforementioned Emma Burgess. My number 9 is an interesting one for sure. They are a Mexican pop alt-rock band known for their covers of the iconic 80s bands. And they perform in English and Spanish, and they're called Matute. Just a very interesting band there with 361.4 thousand monthly listeners. My number 8 is Wes Marvin, who does these darker renditions of covers of songs in rock, metal, and synthwave, but he also has original songs. He only has 22 total monthly listeners on Spotify, but his version's really cool. My number 7 was also Walk Off the Earth, so we had a dead match there. And my number 6 was Adina V in the acoustic room. So
my apologies.
So there you have it.
Derek Kate. I did my final version, like I was actually typing this up and everything, with the TV instead of on my app. Like, okay. So when I saw it, I saw Kato, and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's interesting."
He was over there on the couch. Yeah, different Kato. But no, I also apologize to Adina the Fifth if you're Adina the Fifth and not Adina V, because we've said Adina. I just like Adina V better. Maybe it is. I like
Adina V myself, but
Adina V, it just flows naturally.
It
right?
does.
Okay, so here we go. Oh, this is going to be exciting. Seth, what is your number 1?
So my number 1, you're very familiar with because it's The Portraits.
Okay, no, not The Portraits. Portraits.
Portraits. I'm just getting everything wrong tonight.
No, you're not getting everything wrong because your Portraits was in the top 5, and we have matches. We have 3 matches, which is incredible news.
Make it easy.
It is, unfortunately, for my number 1, soon to be told. But okay, so Portraits. Why is Portraits your number 1?
I came back to this several times, and I didn't know where to put this on my list, and I kept listening to the playlist over and 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 over, and every single time I was like, "Ooh, make a note of that one. Ooh, make a note of that one." You know what I mean? Like I was like, put this somewhere on top, and like finally I was like, that's got to be my version. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean because the same thing happens to me when I like a version, or when I'm intrigued enough by one to want to hear it over and over again and go, you know what? Okay, I got to hear that one, and then I got to pair it with this one and see which one of these I like better.
Yeah.
But yeah, then the Portraits stood out to me and became my number 4. So
yeah.
All right, Portraits is your number 1. So Seth, are you ready? Are you ready for my number 1?
I feel like I broke your heart because it's your number 1's not going to match, and I feel bad. I feel bad.
It was in your honorable mentions though, and it's Midtown.
Yes.
From Punk Goes 80s. Now I got to tell you, this album for me, I wore it out. The whole compilation is one of the best cover, especially punk cover compilations of all time, but cover compilations of all time in general. It's just so good. And this is a standout track. What's different about the way it starts off with these little pedal sounds and keyboard sounds, and they're very synthy. And then Gabe's vocals are kind of disguised at first. They're in a lo-fi, but then once the drums kick into gear and then they go right into the song, then his vocals come to life a little bit more and they're more front and center. And it's just, for me, this is the best cover of the song just because it captures the essence of the 80s in general, not just the Outfield's Your Love. And I thought it just really did it justice, especially for the compilation at the time. I don't know of any other recording that they had this on. Like, they made it specifically for this compilation. And it's just so good for me. Midtown split in 2005. They reformed in 2022, and they released a covers EP in 2023. and they actually reformed as openers for My Chemical Romance's first reunion tour, which is kind of cool. And so then they're like, you know what, let's at least give the fans something. Let's throw out an EP of covers, and that's what they did. I hope we hear more from them in the future. I know they do a lot of festivals, but I don't know if they're ever going to put out another album again. So we'll see. But yeah, I love Midtown's version.
I will say this real fast. So I will explain when I said it's offbeat. The timing of the song, like the timing signatures, are a little bit different, in my opinion, I guess, than the actual original song. And the vocals kind of go a little over, it's not like, it's a little bit off timing. And I love that. I just a sucker for that.
Yeah, I like it to an extent. I think they nail it. They have it to where I really, really can appreciate it. If you go too far over it, for me, it kind of takes away from the original too much. Like it goes too far cuckoo bananas for me. But no, this version for me is just, I love it so much. And when I had the idea for this to be covered, they're the ones that stuck out to me. And now here in contrast, there's a band called I See Stars. Now, their version is different and not as good. Now, they're a great band. I'll give them that. They are actually the pioneers of a genre they created called electronicore. And they are featured on the Punk Goes Classic Rock compilation with their version of Your Love by the Outfield. Couple things wrong with that. One, I wouldn't consider Your Love by the Outfield as a classic rock song. I don't think classic rock when I hear that song. The other thing is, they are on a Punk Goes compilation 5 years after what I consider to be the perfect version of the song. For me, it's just like, why do we even do this song, guys? Like, pick another song. So that I had problems with, but I wanted to contrast the two. I liked it enough to be like, it would have been like my number 12. For me, it was mid, whereas Midtown is superb. So that is how I feel about things, Seth. So before we get into what we're covering next week, how do you think we did with Your Love? Oh yeah, we do have to actually do the top 5 or the top 3. so there's that. So forget that. Think about that, but forget, that I asked it out of sequence. So Seth, your number 1 was Portraits. My number 1 was Midtown. Let's actually stop. We'll start from the top. Your number 5 was Emma Burgess. My number 5 was Dinah Eastwood. Your number 4 was Dinah Eastwood. My number 4 was Portraits. Your number 3 was Adam Christopher. My number 3 was The Butchies. Your number 2 was Adina V. My number 2 was Adam Christopher. And your number 1 was Portraits. My number 1 was Midtown. All right, so the first thing that stands out to me is Adam Christopher.
Yes.
I have him at 2. You have him at 3.
Yes.
I got to think that Adam Christopher is our number 1.
I got to agree.
Okay.
This is where it gets tricky.
This is where it gets tricky because Portraits is your number 1 and Portraits is my number 4. Yeah. So, yeah, if you add up the totals of the rankings of both, they're 5. So it's like, how much do you want to fight for Portraits to be number 1 over Adam Christopher?
I don't.
Okay, that settles it. So Portraits is going to be number 2. And then number 3, we both picked Dinah Eastwood in our top 5. I had Dinah at 5. You had Dinah at 4. And so it's just, what's really funny about our top 3 is these are virtual unknown artists. Unless, of course, Dinah Eastwood is, in fact, an alias of the Dina Eastwood, Clint Eastwood's ex, which I don't think it is. I just wish Dinah Eastwood would have anything online at all that shows her performing, interviewed, anything. But it's almost presence. Yeah, it almost like she wants to be a mystery. Yeah. But that just plays into the fact that maybe she is Dina Eastwood in disguise. It's weird. And then Portraits, I got nothing. If you can find anything about Portraits, not The Portraits, because The Portraits are a UK folk duo that sounds completely different. Yeah. Different dialect entirely. I don't even think Portraits is from the UK. like the portraits are. And then Adam Christopher, as well known as he is for these covers, he's kind of a virtual unknown too. I mean, if you ask somebody on the street, hey, have you heard of this new Adam Christopher song? They'd be like, what are you talking about? Are those two first names you just made up? So yeah, I mean, I love these artists though, and I love their versions of the song. So I'm going to dig deeper into it. And yeah, if any of you out there are listening to this and you know anything about these three artists, let us know. Or if you enjoy any of their songs. So now, Seth, now, how do you think we did? But before you answer, I'm gonna do it one more time. I'm just moving way too fast here. Let's bring it down. Let's give our official top three. Here they are. At number 3, Dinah Eastwood. Number 2, Portraits. And the number 1 best cover ever of Your Love by the Outfield, Adam Christopher. Okay. Now, Seth, go. How do you think we did?
I think it was a challenging one because they were, I would classify them like into 3 sections. They had different styles. And then for me, the majority of ones, I like the slowed down versions. So
Yeah.
it was it was difficult, but we came up with a good top 3 for sure.
Yeah, and I think for me to match as many as I did with yours, I have to agree with you. I like the slowed down versions too. I didn't think that I would going into it. And ultimately I still think Midtown has the best version.
I'm sorry.
But hey, I have no battle. There's no fight to be had. You had Midtown at 8. So it's okay. But I digress. Seth, it's your turn now. What song will we be covering next week? I'm excited to find out.
So our fans may be wondering why this little band is not being mentioned so far. We are covering the Beatles' Come Together.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. That's a biggin right there. The Beatles. I don't even know how to put that into words. The Beatles Come Together, one of the most popular songs of all time. So, wow, yeah, that is a task at hand right there. That is crazy. Let me just take a deep breath. The Beatles Come Together. All right. Well, I hope that comes together for us quite nicely next week.
If it does.
Okay, Seth, where can the listeners find us on the socials?
You can find us at Cover Wars Podcast on YouTube and Cover Wars Podcast on Facebook, Cover Wars Podcast at gmail.com, and Cover Wars on TikTok.
That is correct. And hey, if any of you are out there all alone and you don't know where to go for songs covered by artists other than the original, Seth and I, we got you covered. We'll see you next week, everybody. Bye.
Bye.